Hey guys, I'm Alistair from Trail and Kale, the website that reviews outdoor gear and electronic gadgets like this one here. That was a good little rhyme. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the KAABO Mantis 8. So that's the electric scooter. It's a very popular one from KAABO. And the 8 refers to the diameter of the wheels. So there's also a version which is the Mantis 10. But for this review, we're taking a look at the Mantis 8. In this review, I'm going to go over a few things like what the Mantis 8 is like to actually ride, the experience and how easy it is to actually maneuver on the scooter, and the practicality of having a scooter like this if you're a commuter, for example. I'm also going to go over some of the features of the scooter, and I'll demonstrate things like top speed, stopping speed, so how quickly it brakes, how heavy it is, how to fold the Mantis 8, and also I'll talk about things like the maximum distance of this scooter. Well, without further ado, let's get started on this review. Firstly, so what is this scooter like to ride? Well, it's quite a thrill. It's the fastest electric scooter that I have actually used to date. This one here goes 25 miles an hour, but to be honest, it feels a lot quicker than that. I've got a few electric bikes that go around 25 miles per hour, but this feels a heck of a lot quicker. I don't know whether it's because of the ride position, because you're standing on a scooter, or maybe it goes faster than 25 miles an hour. Maybe it's the acceleration speed, but this is super quick, and to be honest, I wouldn't want a scooter to go much faster than this, because you would probably want to start wearing a crash helmet, and you might feel a little bit unsafe, especially when turning tight corners or braking suddenly in wet conditions. So while I'm talking about what it's like to ride, the actual experience, I'm going to quickly show you what that top speed of around 25 miles per hour actually looks like and how quick it is to accelerate. But there are firstly a few things to note with the KAABO Mantis 8. So if you come here quickly, Helen, you can see there are a few different settings that you need to know about, which will actually make it go 25 miles per hour at its top speed. So if you look on the screen here, you can see it says gear 3. You'll need to make sure that it is actually on 3. That's the fastest gear and the top gear. So it goes down to 1 if you want to use it a little bit slower, so that's worth noting. Also, if you go back a little bit, you can see these two switches here. There's an eco mode and a turbo mode. So you will have to switch this to turbo, and below there's a single and dual, which is the motors, because there's 2 motors on this scooter. So you're going to switch that to dual. So one thing to note about these 2 switches on the right handlebar is you don't really know which setting it's in until you press it. So there's no kind of indicator on the screen to say you're in turbo or you're in single or dual motor mode. So I'd like to see that improved, because you actually have to be riding and then turn on eco or turbo, and it can be a little bit of a shock if you haven't used turbo before to then switch it on whilst you're riding. So just a little nicety, it'd be good to have that on the screen. Okay, so I'm going to show you acceleration and top speed really quickly. So I'm going to line it up, accelerate away, and then I'll do a passing shot where I'm going at top speed. Okay, so clearly very quick. I don't know how quick that looked on camera, but from my perspective it's very fast, and from the perspective of a rider on a scooter like this, it feels quick. Right then, let's go over some of the key features of the KAABO Mantis 8 scooter. So first off, we have this nice little kickstand. Kicks up and down really easily, and it holds the weight of the scooter no problem. So one thing to know about this scooter is it's pretty heavy. It's around 53 pounds. So if I demonstrate picking this up now, you know, it's pretty heavy. Yeah, I can walk up some steps. But it's one heck of a workout. So you know, you need a strong stand which can hold this up, and that's actually something to be aware of, that a heavy scooter like this, it's not particularly portable if you do need to take it upstairs. Yes, you can sort of wheel it about town like this, and you can even fold it up, which I'll demonstrate in a moment, but it's a heavy scooter, so I just think you should be aware of that. And actually, to be fair, a lot of scooters that I've tried are actually very heavy as well. Right, so got the kickstand down here. Now we've got some mud flaps, one on the back, one on the front, so that will keep you nice and clean if you are commuting to work on a wet day, for example. Then it will keep your trousers and your shoes nice and clean. The other thing is this board that you're actually standing on, the platform, is very nice and wide, so it's, if you do have big feet, you'll be fine standing on this. There's lots of space for you to balance on there, and that's really nice. And it's actually very high off the ground, so it's probably the highest scooter that I've actually tried, and it's interesting feeling being that high off the ground. And I guess KAABO have done that so that they can make use of their suspension on the front and rear, and actually give riders more clearance if they are going off curbs or going over speed bumps, for example, so that you're not going to hit the bottom of this platform. So as I just mentioned, there is suspension on the front and rear of this bike, so you really do benefit from that when you're jumping off curbs or going over speed bumps. It absorbs that shock and makes the ride much more comfortable for you. And then looking a little bit closer at the wheels, Helen, you have disc brakes on the back and also on the front, so disc brakes are much more effective at braking. You'll notice that it's really easy to stop on this scooter, so you do need to be aware when you're going at high speeds not to just slam on the front brakes, because if you weren't balanced on this you could lose control quite easily, potentially. So what I tend to do is put a little bit of pressure on the rear brake and then follow up very quickly with the front brake, and then gradually pull those levers a little bit tighter and stop very quickly. There's also a little stand at the back here, so you can sort of balance your rear foot on there. So anyone who does traditional scootering, it's kind of a nice feeling just to lay your back foot on the back there. There's also plenty of lights on the Mantis 8 scooter as well, so you've got two red lights around the rear here, which are very bright, and these also act as brake lights, so when you're stopping they will flash. They also act as turn signal indicators, so I'll show you in a minute, but the scooter does have left and right indicators, and for example if you are signaling left, this red light on the back will flash, as well as a white light on the back left will flash as well. So also underneath the board you can see blue lights here which light up the road around you, so it keeps other road users a little bit away from you as well, so it's a good safety feature. And on the front you have white lights here, which are effectively your headlights, and again they flash when you brake, like so, and when you use a turn signal on the left, for example, the left one will flash, so other road users can see your intentions on the road. Okay, down here is where you actually charge the scooter. There seems to be a proprietary charger that will actually clip into this, so if you look, it's a bit of a funny shape, but that comes with the scooter, and it takes about 3.5 hours to charge this to full, so that's pretty good, it's pretty quick. So looking at the dials on the Mantis 8, on the left handlebar you have a bell, very nice, very cute little bell. At the top you've got the switch which actually turns all the lights on the bike, so if you're riding at night you'll want to use that. You also have the turn signals that I was talking about earlier, so if you want to turn left you push that and you'll see the front and the rear lights are flashing, so people coming towards you or people behind you know your intentions on the road, so I really like that. Okay, on the right, as I mentioned earlier, you've got the switch which turns the mode from eco to turbo. I always leave mine on turbo so I can get maximum speed. And then you have the motor settings, so switch from single or dual motor. So the Mantis 8 has two 500 watt motors, so that actually gives you much more torque if you're going up hills. So I tend to leave it in dual so that I've got the maximum torque. If I do come across a hill, this Mantis will handle a 20-degree gradient, so that's pretty impressive actually. I don't have any hills that steep here at the moment, but being able to handle that with two motors, that's how it does it. It's got the two motors effectively. Okay, and then this dial over here, this is where the magic happens. You've got a little lever here which is your acceleration, and you just use your index finger to pull on that gently, and you'll away you'll go basically. You turn it on by pushing the power button, holding that, and then you can switch between the modes. So at the moment I've got the odometer, and that tells me my trip odometer, how far I've gone on the trip. That's how long I've actually had this on at the moment, 22 minutes. And then finally you've got the brake handle, so you've got the rear brake on the left and the front brake on the right. Right, so the range on this scooter is around 25 miles. Now that is dependent on the rider's weight and the kind of inclines that you're going to be riding on as well. So the steeper you're riding, all those, if you're doing hills and stuff like that, then you probably won't get 25 miles an hour, 25 miles out of this scooter. Of course it depends on the modes you're using as well, whether you're using eco and the turbo mode or single or dual motors. So there's a lot of factors there, but if you were riding this as efficiently as you could, then you should be able to get 25 miles out of it, no problem at all. But for example, if you're commuting, if you had a 5-10 mile commute, you could very easily take this up to your desk at work and then charge it for 3.5 hours, and you're not going to run into any problems there, so you can sort of have full mileage on your way back. Speaking of taking it up to your desk at work, you might want to fold this bike when you actually get there, and also to carry it upstairs it will be much easier. And to do that, come here Helen, I'll show you how you do it. You take these levers here, quick release levers, you just flip them down and then lift this section up and it just folds down. There you go, you've got the scooter folded away. Then what you would do is use this section here at the back and maybe grab under here, and then you can quickly take it up your stairs, put it in the elevator, whatnot. Or if you're lucky, you're on the ground floor, and then you can just pop it by your desk and it's really nicely stored away. And then super easy to put back up, that snaps in place. And then ease up. So dead easy, you're ready to go again. Well, that's my review of the KAABO Mantis 8 electric scooter. Hope you enjoyed it, hope it helped answer some of your questions if you're looking to buy this scooter. If you do have more questions on the scooter, just let me know, drop a comment down below and I'll answer them for you really quickly, as quickly as I can. Well, that's it from me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, it really helps our channel grow, and consider subscribing for more reviews like this one. See you next time.